A child, from the time he can think, should think about all he sees, should suffer for all who cannot live with honesty, should work so that all men can be honest, and should be honest himself. All men profess honesty, as long as they can. To believe all men honest would be folly. To believe none so is something worse. All stories should have some honesty and truth in them, otherwise you're just playing about. Blunders, no, only friendship binds us to honesty, attracting crips of mushrooms in the wake of our snowboards. But I recognize no infallible authority, even in special questions. Consequently, whatever respect I may have for the honesty and the sincerity of such or such an individual, I have no absolute faith in any person. Dishonesty in government is the business of every citizen. It is not enough to do your own job. There's no particular virtue in that. Democracy isn't a gift. It's a responsibility. Dishonesty is so grasping it would deceive God himself, were it possible. Drawing is the honesty of the art. There is no possibility of cheating. It is either good or bad. Even if you know that what you'll say will hurt a woman's feelings, I've learned that it's better to be truthful with her than it is to cover up. Ultimate honesty is what a relationship is really about. For a long time I tried to manage an honesty and openness about my personal life, because I'm human and I'm normal, well, semi-normal. For the merchant, even honesty is a financial speculation. Good design begins with honesty, asks tough questions, comes from collaboration, and from trusting your intuition. Goodness is about character, integrity, honesty, kindness, generosity, moral courage, and the like. More than anything else, it is about how we treat other people. He that fails in his endeavors after wealth or power will not long retain either honesty or courage. Here are the values that I stand for: honesty, equality, kindness, compassion, treating people the way you want to be treated, and helping those in need. To me, those are traditional values. Honesty and integrity are absolutely essential for success in life, all areas of life. The really good news is that anyone can develop both honesty and integrity. Honesty is the rarest wealth anyone can possess, and yet all the honesty in the world ain't lawful tender for a loaf of bread. I am afraid we must make the world honest before we can honestly say to our children that honesty is the best policy. I believe fundamental honesty is the keystone of business. I believe in using words, not fists. I believe in my outrage knowing people are living in boxes on the street. I believe in honesty. I believe in a good time. I believe in good food. I believe in sex. I don't really distinguish between sympathy and honesty when I'm writing. The two go together. I'm interested in inhabiting my characters, seeing the world through their eyes. I feel like my honesty gives people the freedom to talk about things they wouldn't otherwise. I want somebody like my mom. My mom is a very charitable woman. She's the sweetest woman in the world. I'm looking for the second sweetest woman in the world. I'm looking for honesty and a big heart. I was raised Jewish, my wife was raised Catholic. Though we respect each other's heritage, and while many of our friends are deeply religious, we have chosen to focus on our similarities, not our differences. We teach our children compassion, charity, honesty, and the benefits of hard work. I'd like to introduce someone who has just come into my life. I've admired him for 35 years. He's someone who represents integrity, honesty, art, and on top of that stuff I'm actually sleeping with him. If money, education, and honesty will not bring to me as much privilege, as much equality as they bring to any American citizen, then they are to me a curse, and not a blessing. If you think something's funny, go with that. Most comedians pull jokes from a place of honesty. In all honesty, I think that I've had a very normal life, even though I've been making movies since I was 9. In all honesty, at that time, I never saw myself as an author. I was just a mom in a state of panic, trying to enter a short story contest to win the prize money, in order to keep the lights on in my home. It turns out that understanding the British public is not rocket science. The British appreciate honesty, and they also have a bonkers, off-the-wall sense of humor like me. Listen, I think movies serve many different purposes, from those movies that are frivolous and just an entertainment, to movies that just go to exploring the complexities of the human soul. Everything is valid if it's done with honesty and dignity, and I actually do both of those types of movies in my career. Men are able to trust one another, knowing the exact degree of dishonesty they are entitled to expect. Neither soldiers nor money can defend a king, but only friends won by good deeds, merit, and honesty. Not really, in all honesty, because until you take control of your own health, and go to your own doctor, and have your own doctor tell you what's going to work for you. Philip Larkin has a tough honesty and sense of humor that I find irresistible as a contemporary poet. Sexuality is a big issue, but there are others. How much you commit to a relationship, to social obligation, to honesty and being honest with yourself. The American people voted to restore integrity and honesty in Washington, D.C., and the Democrats intend to lead the most honest, most open and most ethical Congress in history. The first question at that time in poetry was simply the question of honesty, of sincerity. The foundation stones for balanced success are honesty, character, integrity, faith, love and loyalty. The greatest truth is honesty, and the greatest falsehood is dishonesty. The important things are children, honesty, integrity and faith. The memoirs that have come out of Africa are sometimes startlingly beautiful, often urgent, and essentially life-affirming, but they are all performances of courage and honesty. The secret of life is honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake that, you've got it made. The trite saying that honesty is the best policy has met with a just criticism that honesty is not policy. The real honest man is honest from conviction of what is right, not from policy. The very spring and root of honesty and virtue lie in good education. There's an honesty in our family. My kids and I are able to talk about things without me putting the fear of God into them. To make your children capable of honesty is the beginning of education. Treat those who are good with goodness, and also treat those who are not good with goodness. Thus goodness is attained. Be honest to those who are honest, and be also honest to those who are not honest. Thus honesty is attained. Unfaithfulness in the keeping of an appointment is an act of clear dishonesty. You may as well borrow a person's money as his time. We learned about honesty and integrity, that the truth matters, that you don't take shortcuts or play by your own set of rules, and success doesn't count unless you earn it fair and square. With honesty of purpose, balance, a respect for tradition, courage, and, above all, a philosophy of life, any young person who embraces the historical profession will find it rich in rewards and durable in satisfaction. With people of limited ability, modesty is merely honesty. But with those who possess great talent, it is hypocrisy. Would that the simple maxim, that honesty is the best policy, might be laid to heart, that a sense of the true aim of life might elevate the tone of politics and trade till public and private honor become identical. You want to try and bring a character to life in an honest a way as you possibly can. It doesn't matter whether he's a doctor, an actor, a car salesman, or a captain of a starship. If you can bring truth and honesty to that character, then your audience will believe you. You will reciprocally promise love, loyalty, and matrimonial honesty. We only want for you this day that these words constitute the principle of your entire life, and that with the help of divine grace you will observe these solemn vows that today, before God, you formulate.